We have covered the path of jnana. We have covered the path of karma. We had some discussion on the path of Raj Yoga, that is the path of willpower. And today we are going to dwell upon the path of bhakti. Let me share my slides with all of you. Hmm. Okay, so path of bhakti, the path of devotion and self-surrender. Before we go and dwell upon this topic in more details, I would like to take your feedback on certain aspects related to bhakti. So I request all of you to open your Slido app and and answer my simple questions. Sorry. Slido app. Oh, it is not opening and showing. I hope everybody. I hope everybody can see now. Do you believe in God? Just scan this Slido code and please answer this question. What is your view? Let us see out of 82 people in this meeting, what do people say? Hmm. So far, 26 people have voted. Yes, please share your honest view. So here we see that 90% of the people who are responding believe in God, and 9% are saying they are neither a believer nor non-believer. Percentage of people who believe in God is increasing as the voting is going up. Wonderful. So overall, we can say that approximately 92% people believe in God. Now, this number is seen in psychology students in India. But if you see the same thing, if you go outside India, outside this country, probably this number will change drastically. In fact, if you just go to China, the number of non-believers is much higher. It may even be, opposite of what we are seeing here. Only 10% of the people may believe in God. So this is what is the difference in the population in this country, and generally you go anywhere in the globe, you do not see such high number of believers in the God. Fine, let me ask you the next question. This is a word cloud. In what form do you connect to someone or something higher than you? No, the one you connect to, you connect in what form, like Devi or Krishna or nature or whatever that you, when you connect to something higher than you, what is the form of that to whom you connect? Guru, good deeds. I connect with them through devotion, reading stories about them. Spirituality, no form. No form is also coming. Shiva is coming, Hanuman is coming, Krishna is coming, Guru, thought, gratitude, values, nature, energy, prayer, nature, energy, listening, spiritual power, universal energy, good deeds. When you connect to something higher, in what form do you connect? Shiva and energy, universal energy, nature, prayer, Krishna consciousness, formless, no form. So, temple, both kind of people are here. People are suggesting that I connect with certain form. Some people are suggesting that it is connecting to nature or universal energy. So, these are the major things through which people are showing their connect. Okay, let me ask you the next question. Do you pray? How many of you say that you pray? Why we are not seeing the... Can't say yes or no. 71% have said definitely they pray. So even if people believe, it is not necessary that everybody will pray. So we can say that out of 90% who said that they believe in God, 70% said that they pray. Other 24% said that they can't say whether they pray or not. Whereas other 5% or now 3% are saying that definitely they do not pray. So they believe in God, or they may be among those who do not believe in God. So out of that, we can say that the data shows that 70% of them actually do pray. Generally, what do you pray for if you do so? Some people pray for gratitude, prema bhakti, peace, support from the higher energy, strength to withhold. Some people just convey their gratitude, they do not ask for anything. Some ask for their wishes to be fulfilled. People pray for peace, for their well being. They pray for strength during difficult times. Some people pray for completion of their PhD. When I am angry, sad, happy, I pray or I to show gratitude. For myself, for the loved ones, and sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. Strength to withhold, I just say thank you, thank Him for His blessings. To show God's will in my life, health and protection. Health also has come up. Calm and peace, strength. Peace is the main word which is coming up. Pray just to connect with the divine, pray for love. So there are variety of reasons, from health and well-being to academic, their pursuits, to related to their showing their gratitude, or people are also uh, praying to get positivity, people are praying to get health, prosperity, wellness, well-being in all aspect. People are praying for themselves, people are praying for family, people are praying for getting clarity. Some people, okay, some people pray for universal well-being also. Wonderful. Have you ever prayed for your health or your loved one's health? Using health as a therapeutic tool. Have you ever done that? Yes. Sorry, let me see the previous question first. So, have you ever prayed for your health or loved one's health? We see 97% are saying that they prayed. They prayed for health reasons. Yet, if we look at the WHO's definition of health, spiritual component is there, but we in our systematic clinical practice of psychology or mental health do not ask these questions to our patients. Do you believe in God? In what form do you pray? Have you ever prayed for your health? Hmm? And how often do you connect? So these are the questions that we should ask in spiritual history. I am going to share our spiritual history taking sheet immediately after this class with all of you. But these are the major questions that we ask our patients. When we want to understand their spiritual domains and whether they are using these aspects into their, did it work? When you prayed for your health or your loved one's health, how many of you say that, yes, my prayer worked? So, Avinash, this number is astonishing, no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
65, 70% people are saying that you pray for health and it
Mm.
works.
Yes, sir. Yeah. There are like many
So,
studies also, even in chaplain studies they have done, and they have seen like an RCT only. People who have prayed and not prayed, they have shown that it is quite statistically significant that people who have prayed, they got very well in, especially in intensive care. So it is definitely it's there. It's good, sir.
so it means that prayer should become an inherent part of every yoga session. And people should specifically pray for their health. Oh God, please take me
Yes.
out of depression. Please bring me out of anxiety.
Yes, sir.
Prayer has to be very specific. When I ask people, how do you connect? People are asking, and what reasons do you connect? People are giving very vague, general statements. So God also doesn't understand, very vague prayers. So the prayer has to be very specific, very clear. What do you want? Hmm? So, God, I am suffering from depression. I am not able to come out of it. You are all powerful. Please pull me out of it. I pray to you. Hmm? Have we ever done that? And have we ever asked our patient to do this? Because this is a very learned population. All people are dealing with mental health. They are all doctors, they are all professionals. And they are saying that almost 67, 70% of them have prayed for their health and it has worked. So this is really, really amazing data. Gives lot of insight to us, and I think we are lacking in our clinical skills in the spiritual domain of our practice, because the patients who are coming to us are spiritual. They are doing all this like we are doing this. They are also doing all this. But have we ever explored this dimension of their personality? Did we ever talk in detail? How do they connect to the divine? Do they believe in divine? In what ways do they connect? How often do they connect? What strength does this connect give them? How do they cope? And how important is this coping strategy in their mental health and in their managing their health? So this is the domain that I want to discuss with all of you. Let me now share my slides after the Slido. Okay, so what does Krishna say about Bhakti Yoga? The 12th chapter describes the path of Bhakti. आपको जिज्ञासु अर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ. Oh, best some kinds of pious people. See, Sri Krishna says, Sukruti no. All the four people are good to me. They are pious. I consider them as pious people. They engage in my devotion. There are four kinds of people who connect to me, who seek refuge in a very difficult situation, who is in deep pain, deep suffering. He calls upon the divine. Second is the seeker of the knowledge, the curious one, who is really wondering from where does this creation come from? Who is the creator? Curious people. Third are the artharthis. Artharthis are seekers of worldly possessions and they negotiate with God. They say, God, if you fulfill this desire for me, I will do so and such thing for you. If Sai Baba, gives me this, I will come to Shirdi. If Devi gives me this, I will offer gold chhatra to Devi, or I will come to Vaishno Devi. I will offer this, I will do that. If Shiva does this, I will do seven fasting of 7 Mondays to get a good bridegroom. No, so there are various things people do, and there is another one, those who situated in knowledge who love me. Four kind of people. So in a way, Krishna is describing also how bhakti evolves from distress to curiosity to the seekers of worldly possession and jnani. Hmm? In the four categories he has written. And if Krishna describes something in a sequence, it carries some logic. So the question that I want to ask you is, do you agree with this logic? First is artha, then jidnyasu, then artharthi, and then jnani. Why not first artha, who is in pain only remembering God, but then why not we put the artharthi, the one who is doing the transactions with God, as second, and then the seeker, the jidnyasu, as the third, and then the jnani, the one who really understands the essence of God and loves God. Fourth, why this particular sequence? First artha, then jidnyasu, then artharthi, then jnani. Why? Anybody would like to unmute and share? Varsha, yes, please share your views.
Sir, in psychology, we have the concept of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is the physical needs and then the social needs, and then so on and so forth until self actualization, which is the most highest need that a person can have. So I think this is following a similar pattern. The ones who are distressed, who are in need of physical needs, then those who seek knowledge, who transact towards the social needs and the cognitive needs they fulfill, and those who are jnanis, who seek to connect with him on the beyond. I think there's a connect there as such.
So here, Varsha, the first and the last we clearly understand. The confusion is between the two. The knowledge seeker of the knowledge, would he go above the one who is seeking the social material things as artharthi? So why the jidnyasu is before the artharthi? Why artharthi is not first and then jidnyasu? This is the question. But yeah, overall Maslow's hierarchy pattern is a wonderful idea. Anybody? Yes, Vinayji, please share your views.
Is that the information to handle the various challenges of life? The knowledge is mean that to have information behind information.
Yeah.
So followed by worldly possession and followed by real right knowledge, which is not related to the information or possession.
So
Is that
you mean to say that the person who is just curious is just dealing with information, whereas a person who is transacting with God actually is able to connect to God better?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The second one is seeking of knowledge in terms of seeking of information, the available resources, exploring the various strengths, weaknesses, challenges to possess. Possession is the next step. if I say so.
Okay. So Vinay is of the opinion that he's just not very active in dealing, he's passively seeking information, he's just curious about it. But a person who is Artharthi is engaging with God. He has no doubt that God is there. He's also engaging in active transactions with God, so he's more connected. Anybody else? Any views on this sequence? Fine. So I think I agree with Vinay that a person who is in distress is only remembering God when he is in pain. When he is happy, when everything is going on well, he is not remembering God. Whereas a person who is curious about God, even if he is normal, even if he is doing well, he's able to keep God in his mind, and he is curious about God. He wants to read about God. He wants to understand God, and he's still in a position, wow, who is this? What is this? He doesn't have any idea about God, and he is in that kind of a situation of agnosticism. Whether he, I think he knows that God is there, but he has no idea about God, and he is curious to know. Whereas a person who is Artharthi is much more firm in his faith that God is there, and he is Artharthi. He is in a transaction with God. To have a transaction with something or someone, you need to have a firm faith. No, you can be curious about a thing which you may have faith or you may not have faith on, but to transact with something, that I give something, you give me something, your faith needs to be much stronger. And then Jnani is beyond doubt, his faith is unshakable. Even in distress, even in pain, when everything is taken away, his faith doesn't shake. He is in firm establishment. So this is why Krishna says all these four kind of people as good people. Even in distress, if you are taking shelter in God, if you are remembering God, it is good. Then we also see in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there is a very beautiful sutra that comes up that says, Vitraga Vishayam Vachittam. By meditating the heart on the powerful personalities that have given up all attachment to sense objects, the devotee's mind gets stabilized. So not only divine, which is which is manifest or unmanifest, people see the divinity in people around them, or they have role models, they have people who inspire them, and they see the same divine manifesting in them. Now, as a psychotherapeutic tool, when bhakti is used, Patanjali in his first chapter describes various methods through which you can stabilize the mind. One of the method he describes to stabilize the chitta is by bringing onto the mind the image, the personality of the person who is your role model, or who is a person who is detached, who is fearless, who has certain personality traits which you would like to imbibe in yourself. For example, if I suffer from anxiety while giving a public talk, I have a performance anxiety. Okay, so when I stand there, if I close my eyes and ask, if in my place here Swami Vivekananda was there and he was supposed to talk, how would he, what kind of body language would he have? How would he maintain eye contact with people? How would he keep his head? How would he keep his chest? In what tone he would talk? So just that image of Swami Vivekananda on my chitta will bring the traits of Swami Vivekananda in me, and that anxiety I will be able to subside. For example, when I am in intense fear and worried, but I am a devotee of Ma Kali, I close my eyes and ask myself, if in this situation of intense fear, in intense difficulty, if Kali was there, how would she face it? If instead of me, Shiva had to face this challenge, how would Shiva face it? So in that way, Patanjali says that you can bring those personality onto your mind, and as soon as their image comes onto your mind, you start imbibing their personality traits within you, and through that you can overcome your weakness. This is a very beautiful technique, a psychological technique that Patanjali talks about while overcoming challenges in life using Bhakti Yoga. Srishti, please unmute.
Sir, I was just thinking that is it similar to how a lot of times mothers teach their children to chant the Hanuman Chalisa when they're fearful? So is it somewhere coming from that?
Yeah, it is very similar to that. And all of us, in our childhood have taken Hanuman's name whenever we were afraid of ghosts. So this is definitely similar to that, but Patanjali goes one step ahead. Patanjali says that you have to, vitarag vishayam vachittam. You have to become aware of your chitta. Chitta is like a reflecting media. What is going on in your chitta, you should see. So currently my chitta is having fearful thought. Chitta is having negative thoughts. Then what Patanjali says, on those, on that surface of chitta, consciously bring the image of your role model. And as soon as that image comes, you see that the very properties of your chitta, the very properties of your mind change. So, actively using a cognitive process of bringing image onto your chitta. And here, form is very important. Here, form is very important. You bring the form, and the form comes with its own qualities. Uh, Yatha bhimad dhyanadva, Patanjali after that says, or any way that you want to meditate, you can meditate, but it is very important that you understand what goes on in your mind and how to change the thinking pattern, the rumination pattern that is going on positively. And one of the ways to do that is to first identify someone or something higher than you, and then make that as an object of your cognition again and again. So one way of doing that is every form is associated with a name. So what you can do is you can also repeat the name along with bringing the form again and again onto your mind. So that makes it even more powerful. This kind of techniques have been used from time immemorial in India. Every simple villager who is doing bhajana or kirtana is taking God's name, singing God's glory. And those glories are also, if you see, they will focus on the form of the God many a times. For example, if you are aware of very famous, Ganesh ji ka aarti karte hain, you might also know this is a very famous Ganesh ji's aarti. In Marathi also they chant it. So how do you chant Ganesh ji's aarti? You say that Sukh Karta Dukh Harta Varta Vignachi Nurvi Purvi Prem Kripa Dayachi Sarvangi Sundara Uti Shendurachi Kanti Zhadke Maan Bukta Falach. So and then you talk about the Nupur, you talk about his trunk, you talk about his ears, his belly, his forehead, you talk about his hand, what is he holding. Vishnu Sahasranamas give different thousands of names to Vishnu and different forms of Vishnu. We also see that each of the arti focuses on certain qualities. Either it is bala or power, or it is the nature of their kindness. Sri Ram's, the Ramcharit Manas gives very beautiful description of how Rama's long hands are there, how Dhanush is there, how are his eyes are like lotus, his feet are so beautiful, and he is a Karuna Nidan, and he is filled with compassion. He is an ocean of compassion. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaj Man. So this is how every prayer in India is actually aimed at bringing that form onto your chitta. As soon as that form comes, you are filled with the feeling of gratitude or imbibing the strength of that personality, and that is able to take you away from your anxiety and fears. So very beautiful point, Srishti. Now this is going on in villages, this has been going on, and it goes on in every home. But do we look at it from that angle? When we are doing it, we are actually changing the very structure of our chitta, what our chitta is reflecting. Our chitta is usually reflecting only the kleshas, what we are attached to, what we have aversion towards. All of you, almost 70% of you have filled the yantra scales, 30% of you still have not filled it. We will give you time till next Tuesday, when we will close the questionnaire. Please fill it up so that you know your klesha scores, and it will also help us give you some extra marks at the end. So generally the chitta is always filled with kleshas. What enters in my mind when I am just not doing anything? A thought where I want something which is not come to me, a thought where I want to avoid something which I have not been able to avoid. So generally it is survival, abhinivesha. I want to be safe, I want to fulfill my desire, I want to avoid pain. Generally the thought process is going in those directions only. But very less time is there where my thought process goes, leaving all these raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, klesha. It focuses on something transcendental, it focuses on something higher, connecting to the higher values of the life, which is dharma, which is compassion, which is the values of uh, knowledge, gratitude, surrender, pure love, unconditional giving, all these kind of higher values, expansion. That very small time goes into that, but the whole of yoga philosophy says that most of the time our chitta should be filled with such things, because that is the very purpose for which chitta was given, to reflect such higher potentials onto your chitta again and again. Because whether it is Gautama the Buddha, whether it is Swami Vivekananda, whether it is Mahatma Gandhi or Abdul Kalam, everybody has said one common thing: whatever you think, you become. Whatever that you have been repeating again and again in your chitta, you start becoming that. So, am I aware of what I am repeating in my mind again and again, like a japa, like a mantra, unknowingly? What is the predominant thing repeating in my mind? What is my chitta vritti? You will wonder that most of the time the chitta vritti is just of fear, unfulfilled desires. It will always keep me unfulfilled and fearful. In fact, I am reinforcing the same things again and again. What do I want of myself? What do I want? I want to express my divine potential. I want to be fearless. I want to be confident. I want to be compassionate. I want to be an overarching, fulfilled personality, self actualized personality. I want to become something, but what am I repeating in my mind again and again from morning to night? So, this creates, a kind of a disparity where the cognitive dissonance, I want to be something, I am something. From morning to night, I am doing something in my chitta, but I aim at becoming something else. But I am not doing anything of that in my chitta. I am not giving any exercise to my chitta to reflect on what I want to become. In fact, I am giving all self reflection on my chitta is what I don't want to become. Ask yourself, what is your major chitta vritti from morning to night? Is it of an incomplete, unsatisfied life, wanting more and more? Or is it of the higher values of the life, a fulfilled, confident, manifesting the full potential, that kind of life? What you want to become, you have to start reflecting that on your chitta, not what you don't have. This is the message that comes from Patanjali here. Let your inspiration take over your chitta, not your limitations. Currently, what takes over our chitta is our limitations. But what should take over our chitta is inspiration. And that is why there is such high value given in all the yogic tradition on the practices of Nama Japa, or repeating a certain form in your mind again and again. So Patanjali gives Ishwara Pranidhanadva, or just by bending down in gratitude, a feeling of awe to the divine principle, someone or something higher than you. Every religion has this component. No matter which religion you belong to, there is a name and there is a form behind that. Whether you call it Allah, whether you call Jesus, whether you call Krishna, whether you call Buddha, whether you call Sai Baba, Shiva, there is a name. And behind that name, there is a form. Even if you say formless, that formless, when you close your eyes, gives you a form of an expanded universe. Because human mind, human chitta is programmed to reflect two things: sound, image. Whatever that goes on into your mind from morning to evening, if you look at it properly, there are only two things: a chatter, a sound that repeats, and along with it, an image, a reel that runs. Sound, image. The very structure of chitta is like a mirror, it reflects. And even those who say that I believe in formless are reflecting the form of the formless. And there is a name to the formless. In fact, FORMMLESS is a name. So please understand that Krishna tells further, Tesham jnani nitya yuktah ek bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnanino atyartham aham sacha mama priyah. Among these four, who are those four? Artho, the one who is in pain, who is in intense trouble. An example that comes in Purana is of the Gajendra Moksha. This was an elephant, very powerful elephant, who was enjoying his life with an extended big family, big group of elephants. And this elephant goes into a pond to take bath, and there is a very huge crocodile who catches the leg of this elephant. He is the Gajendra, very powerful one. He was very proud of his strength, but the crocodile is so powerful that no matter how much he tries, he is not able to free himself. His family members, his wife, all his children, the brother, sister, everybody, they make a chain by one elephant holding the tail of another elephant and the trunk of another elephant. Like that, they make a chain to pull their boss out. But all of them fail. And then they give up and go away. He's left alone. And he struggles from morning to evening. He struggles, but the crocodile doesn't give up. And then he reaches a state where he is now about to drown. He is not able to save himself. And while drowning, the last thing that the elephant remembers is Lord Vishnu. So with his trunk, he says, okay, I'm going to die, but let me offer my devotion to Vishnu now, because only Vishnu can save me. So while drowning with his trunk, only the trunk is out, rest of the elephant is inside the water now. The elephant somehow catches a lotus. And with drowning with his trunk, the elephant offers the lotus to Vishnu and calls upon Vishnu. Only you can save me. I have no other resort. You are the only last resort left for me. Only you can save me. I offer my devotion to your feet. And he offers the lotus, and Vishnu gets pleased with his devotion there. So on Garuda, Vishnu comes and frees the elephant. This is the story of Gajendra Moksha. Very famous story. You may see it on many calendars. An elephant offering lotus to Vishnu, and a crocodile is catching the leg of the elephant. So the crocodile is all the problems that no matter how much we try, we are not able to come out of it. We are stuck. Wherever we ask for help, wherever we seek shelter, we feel that, okay, definitely this person will help me. We go to each and every door. And then what we realize is that nobody is coming to our help. Whomever we expected that at least this person will stand for me, the person shows his back. Very similar thing happened with Draupadi in Mahabharata. What happened with Draupadi? So, this was, all of you know the episode of Chiraharana. I'm sure everybody knows about it. So, what was going on here was the whole episode was over, and then Draupadi with her husband was in Vanvasa, she was in forest, and there Sri Krishna comes to meet her in their first year. And Draupadi is very angry on Krishna. She doesn't want to talk to him. Though Krishna was the one who came and saved her by taking which avatar? Which avatar did Krishna take to save Draupadi? Anyone? Which avatar did Krishna take?
Sir, yeah, sir, I think I've heard of Vastra Avatar is what we call it in Maharashtra.
Yes, it is called as Vastra avatar. Very beautiful. So here what happened is that Dushasana was pulling the sari and sari was not finishing. Morning till evening, he got exhausted and it would never finish. No? So that avatar is known as Vastra avatar. So though Krishna had taken Vastra avatar and saved her, when he reached Draupadi, when she was in jungle, in forest, Draupadi was not talking. All other Pandavas spoke to Krishna. Then Krishna asked her, another name of Draupadi was also Krishna. And she was Krishna's friend, best friend. So then Krishna asks, hey Krishna, what happened? Why are you not talking to me? Why are you not looking at me? She says, as if you don't know. You know everything. Why do you want me to say that? So still no, I'm not sure. Why are you so angry? She says, you call me your Sakha, I'm your Sakhi. And do I have to tell you how to deal with friend? How do you do with friend? No, we say that whenever you are in trouble, a friend comes to save you. A friend in need is the friend indeed. So honestly, you tell me, Krishna, you came, but when did you come? When I was insulted in the whole sabha, when I was half naked, when I was pulled through my hair down the stairs, when I was begging everybody, when I was crying, is this the time for you to come? Did you really enjoy me getting insulted in front of everybody? If you really wanted to save me, you could have come much earlier, or you would have prevented me going there, because you know everything. So that is the reason I am angry on you and I will never talk to you. Valid point. How many of you agree that Draupadi is correct? Raise your hand. Friend should protect from the beginning. Beautiful. Yeah. So many of you agree that Draupadi is correct. When Krishna listens to this, what Krishna says, you have to listen to that also. Krishna tells Draupadi that, Draupadi, the way I have created this universe, the way this whole universe functions is that human being has been created in the image of God. The one who created this universe has put this one capability in human being, that is called as karmanyeva adhikaraste. Everybody has been given this freedom to do the action, and such freedom the creator has imparted to the human being, that without the permission of that human being, even the creator cannot interfere. So Draupadi, mind you, I want to tell you that from the very moment, when Shakuni was invited to Indraprastha, Yudhishthir's place, and there the Dyut Krida was happening, and there when Shakuni with his Kauravas deliberately showed as if he was winning, and then towards the end he lost to the Yudhishthira, so that he could create that kind of an intoxication in the mind of Yudhishthira that he can beat Shakuni. Those smart gamblers who are there, no, when they play gambling with a novice, what they do is they let the novice first come in a state where he is losing, then from that state they let him win. So the novice feels very confident of himself and gets that urge to play again. This kind of game Shakuni, who is the maternal grandfather of the Kauravas, Duryodhana, the wrong side, did with Yudhishthira first. And after that, they went back to Hastinapur. And while playing in Indraprastha also, Duryodhana said, from my side, my paase, those What do you say that? They throw dice. That dice, I will not throw. From my side, my Mamaji will throw. Yudhishthir was okay with it. And after that, they were invited to Hastinapur. Krishna told, even when they played in Indraprastha, when Duryodhana said that from my side, my Mamaji will throw the dice, Yudhishthira also could have said, from my side, Krishna will throw the dice. But he did not remember me. Then, when they went to Hastinapur, they didn't even ask me. You also didn't ask me. Nobody asked me to come to Hastinapur, or not even, anybody took my opinion whether you should go or not. It was just a firm, clear decision that you people are going. When a human being firmly decides something, God also cannot interfere. But I was waiting for you people to look at me. I was waiting. Then you reached the place. Youth Krida started, the game started. One after another, Yudhishthir was losing his property, he lost his brothers. Even after losing so much, he never remembered me. He put you there. He didn't remember me. You, when you heard his news, you were shattered. But whose ashraya came into your mind first? First thing that came into your mind was, no, this is not impossible. This is impossible. Bhima and Arjuna will not allow this to happen. So who came into your mind as your ashraya? As the one you surrender to? Bhima first, then Arjuna. When you were pulled down through your hair and you saw that both Bhima and Arjuna are looking down, they cannot even look into your eyes. Then also I did not enter into your mind. Who came into your mind? Bhishma Pitamaha. Then Dronacharya. Then Dhritarashtra. You prayed to everybody in the Sabha. Then also I did not enter your mind. I was crying. I was dying to interfere. And after that, what happened? After that, when you realize that nobody is coming, when nobody is coming, with both your hands, you used your strength. When your hands were not sufficient, you used your teeth to pull your sari, hold your sari. So last resort that you took is of your own body. And when just one single jerk, when everything was out of your hand, then with one hand holding the sari, with one hand you remembered me, Krishna, Janardana. That was the time you remembered. And as soon as you left the second hand, I was there as the Vastra avatar. So saying this, Krishna also started crying. Krishna did not want, God doesn't want you to suffer. But we take shelter of God as the last resort. God wants us to remember Him first. Artha, real Artha that God really appreciates is as soon as you are in trouble, as soon as a baby is trouble, baby looks at the mother. Baby has no strength of her own. So a Bhakta and Jnani are very different. Jnani believes in the power of his intellect. Bhakta's strength is his weakness. Bhakta says, I am already gone case. I can't do anything. I have no strength in me at all. But you are all powerful. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Krishna. Yeah. Yat kripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. So the path of bhakti is very different. Here the I-ness is surrendered. Here the person doesn't want ego strengthening. The person says that he is weak, and in his weakness he cries. In his cry of weakness, he surrenders. In that surrender, strength comes. Because when I is not there, God enters. A transcendental strength enters into the person. And it is through this, my dear friend, in the path of bhakti, a person overcomes his difficulties. All of you know this in substance use disorder, a very famous group known as Alcohol Anonymous. a group, main intervention is wholehearted prayer to God. Appreciating that I have tried everything to come out of this substance use. I have not been able to lift myself, come out of it. But I believe, I have faith in God. God is all powerful. I pray to God to take me out of it because I don't have any strength. A wholehearted prayer and continuously taking the name of God, bringing the image of God on the mind again and again. Whenever the image of craving comes, you bring the image of God, bring the name of God. In whichever form or whichever name, whichever religion that it comes through, you repeat that on your chitta. This is the essence of the path of bhakti. This is what we mean by surrender. Surrender or sharanagati means that even unknowingly you will never say that I completely rely on you to anybody except God. हम लोग ऐसे बातों बातों में बोलते हैं ना, यार सब कुछ अब आपके भरोसे में है, आपके भरोसे. This even unknowingly the person doesn't say to anybody else except God, one who is into a pure state of sharanagati. So bhakti yoga is a special path in Bhagavad Gita because Krishna says that this is the easiest among all the paths, and this is the path which is more conducive for majority of the population. Not everybody will be able to understand the complexities of Vedanta, the questioning of who am I and Brahma. Not everybody will be able to perform the Raj Yoga practices with lot of willpower and determination. Not everybody will be able to do the action selflessly or be a karma yogi, but to bow down and surrender and accept your defeat is what everybody can do. That's why in rural India, this is the major path, that is taken up by most of the people and a major coping strategy. Unfortunately, this really, acceptance commitment therapy little bit brings this domain into it, but there is much more depth. There is much more depth in the domain of bhakti that is seen in the Indian philosophy. So Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevah Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. He says that don't, even if the path of bhakti is easy, becoming a full-fledged bhakta, a bhakta who has completely surrendered himself, is something that is not easy to come. Complete self-surrender actually comes by following path of jnana for many lives. So after becoming a jnani, when you go on the path of jnana for many years, slowly the flower of bhakti comes on you. Every jnani need not be a bhakta, but every bhakta invariably becomes a jnani. Because Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that those who are devoted to me, I only go in their heart and through my compassion remove the darkness of ignorance from their heart. So I myself give them jnana and make them a jnani bhakta. So what is the difference between three things I would like to ask you here? All of you know there are three major emotions that we deal with: lobha, moha, and krodha. In that, moha is something that means attachment. I want to ask all of you a question. What is the difference between moha, prema, and bhakti? Can anybody tell me the difference between three things? Moha, prema, and bhakti. First, between moha and prema, what is the difference? Yes, Varsha.
Sir, moha can be characterized as something similar to obsession, something that you do not want with any rationality or any goodness, something that is compulsive. But prema is very conscious, and it is something I would say more like a higher emotion. It's more similar to love if we translate it into English.
Okay. So Varsha says that in moha, it is non-rational obsession, whereas prema is more conscious, you are more rational. But in prema, are you not obsessed with the object of your love?
I think it is not, it is I don't think obsession is the right word, sir. I don't know how to put it. I think it's less compulsive. In moha, there is a more compulsive element to
What do
the
you mean by
obsession.
compulsion here?
Like wanting without a specific reason and wanting for towards detriment, kind of.
Okay.
But with love, it is not exactly a detriment. It is good, and there is no hanging on to something that you do not necessarily need. But in moha, there is a concept of hanging on to something even if you don't need it, even if it's to your detriment. It's a compulsive obsession.
Okay. Srishti.
Sir, from where I'm sitting, I think in very simple terms, moha is more, as you said, it is attachment. So attachment in terms of worldly pleasures or something object, whereas prem would be care and respect and love towards something or someone.
Okay, so Srishti says that in moha, it is more with the body of the person. Prema is more with the subtle aspects of the person. The higher values are involved. Okay, Vinay?
Moha and prem.
Hmm.
Moha is of intense attachment, the need or necessity, not just just a requirement. Prema, it is just a wish. It could, we can say, a wish, a simple wish. Whereas bhakti, although it is a wish, but it is not a needful wish. It's a mutual exchange without any need or necessity.
Okay, Vinay brings in the domain here. Vinay says that intense attachment is there in moha, whereas in prema, you are just wishing good for another person. And in bhakti, even that wishing good, there is no selfishness, it is completely selfless. Shubhraji,
Yeah.
moha and prema first.
Yeah. So moha is a infatuation or attachment driven by the ego or desire. Basically, the desire is there, the moha. And it is a limited self-centered love that can lead to delusion. Prem is a selfless love or affection, often used to describe the love between the family, close ones. It's a deeper emotional connection. Prem, it's emotional connection. Bhakti is a devotion or worship, often directed towards a supreme power. It's a spiritual connection, surrender, and dedication. So, as example, I can say moha is prem is I love you, and moha is I want you for myself. Want you for myself. Prem is only I love you, and bhakti I surrender to you.
Beautiful, Shubhraji. Very beautiful. Wonderful. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Prachiji.
So Subraj has explained really beautifully. Same like my answer is, I feel moha, we try to bind them. Like you are for me, like that. Like you are, we keep them bind. If they are going towards with someone, we feel jealousy, anxiety comes and all. But if we love them, there will be like selfless. Let them, they are happy with anyone, let them be happy. That will be. So there will be no bound. And in like prema, that bhakti, surrender, there will be, we will be totally devoted to them. We will not think about ourselves like what is happening to us. Like that is, there is no condition, no boundaries. We just live for them. They will know my desire, only for them we live. That's what I feel.
Beautiful, Prachi. Very beautiful answers. Now, let me give you a scenario and you tell me whether the person did right or wrong. So, there is a boy who is in college, who is in graduation, and he is in love. He feels he is in love with his batchmate. And he is all the time, this particular person he loves is in his mind. He's thinking about her. He gives gifts to her. He's always wanting to be with her. And they are in a relationship. Later, what happens is, as they grow, situations arise in such a way that their relationship goes through turmoils because of various reasons, where they are possessive about each other, and there is more, boy doesn't want her to do certain things, she likes to do certain things, and the relationship suffers. Family starts searching for a boy for the girl, and the girl reaches an understanding that whatever time that we spent together was good, both of us learned from each other, but I think I should marry where my family wants me to marry. Boy feels that the girl has betrayed him, correct? But the boy really loves the girl. Boy feels that he really loves the girl, and he tries everything that the girl comes back. It is real distress. He cannot even pass a single moment without her. And he now understands the value that he should have been more open. He should have given her more. He should have, he shouldn't have taken her for granted. Then he goes and says wholehearted sorry to her and requests her, please don't marry, give me one last chance. And girls also feel sad about it, and but she's not able to go against her family at this stage, but she also cries and she marries. On the day of the marriage, news comes that the boy has committed suicide. On the day of the marriage, the boy has committed suicide. Now, how many of you say that the boy had moha towards the girl? How many of you say the boy had prema towards the girl? How many of you say boy had bhakti towards the girl? If you say moha, put chat box mein M. If you say prema, put P. If you see bhakti, put B. Oh, yes, Varsha is putting P. Moha and prema. Usha Rani ji. Most of you are putting M. I want everybody to respond, please. See, the boy has died for her. Boy has given his prana ahuti. Yeah. Moha prema. Moha and prema. Moha. Moha and little traces of prema and bhakti. P converted to moha, Aditi Devi. Okay. Now, for those who are writing M and P or P and B, I want to tell you one clear thing. It will be either M or P. It cannot be both. Light and darkness cannot be together. It will be either light or darkness. Okay. So there is no M and P. There is nothing like M and P. It is either P or M. In this domain, I am very clear. So those who wrote M and P, please select one. P or M. Now, confident P, those who have said, okay, so Nagadarshan ji from MP has gone to M only. First, let me ask Varsha why she has put P. Varsha, please.
Sir, I think the boy really loved the girl, and also the girl also loved the boy. But the thing is, he was unable to tolerate the suffering of her leaving. That is the main problem. So I think it is not मोह कि वो उससे बहुत ज्यादा attach और उसके बिना मतलब he want her to be possessed, obsession नहीं था, possession नहीं था, but he was more focused on the suffering he was not able to tolerate.
या तो वर्षा बोल रही हैं कि बेसिकली पहले जैसा भी उसका मोह था, बाद में जब वो मरा उस समय में वो उसको फ्रीडम देने के लिए राजी था, पूरा फ्रीडम उसने दे दिया था जैसा भी चाहिए, बट वो उसके सेपरेशन को बस सहन नहीं कर पाया, इसलिए वो मर गया, इसलिए इट इज प्रेमा. His love started with moha and then moved to prema. So Usha Rani also says that when he died, he was in prema. Varsha also says he was in prema. It started with moha. Bhakti can only be there with detachment, Binduji has said. Okay, now let me ask Binduji why it is moha. 018 Binduji, please.
No, because the person is not, I mean, the guy who has committed suicide, he is not able to forget the girl, or even though it's more like he committed suicide because he didn't want to live without her, or even though he has put more effort, it hasn't succeeded so that he died. So in that case, in prema, both the suicidal or the harm to other people won't be there. That's what my opinion is.
Shubhra ji.
Yeah, sir. Sir, I think it is moha because it was attachment to it, because he was thinking for himself only. He died without thinking of what will happen after him. So it was a state of delusion, self-centered love and a state of delusion. So it's complete moha for.
So it is very important, what Shubhraji told. Did he think what will happen to the girl after I die? On the day of her marriage, when she will hear that I have died, will she be happy in her life henceforth? Okay, you are dying, but the one you love, you want her to suffer the whole life, right? You want her to suffer from the guilt of your death for the rest of her life. Ultimately, what are you giving her? You are giving her pain only, no? And where is this pain coming from? It is from your own ego. It is from your I-ness that you cannot tolerate she going to somebody else. You decided that let me give her a pain that she will suffer lifelong, because there is nothing else that I can do right now. If the boy actually had moved to prema, he would have allowed her to marry without dying. He would have prayed for her well-being. Okay, you couldn't come to me. I will go to God and pray that whoever is you are with, may you remain happy. May you have a prosperous life. Whatever that I could not give you, may this person whom you are marrying give you. In prema, there is only another. You matter, I don't matter. आप खुश रहिए, आप सुखी रहिए, आप जहां भी हो आनंद में रहो. मैं भगवान से ये प्रार्थना करूंगा और मेरा मरने का मन है, लेकिन मैं आपके लिए जीऊंगा.
Yes, sir.
मेरी तो मरने की इच्छा है, लेकिन मैं आपके लिए जिंदा रहूंगा, क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहता कि जिंदगी भर आपको इस बात का गिल्ट हो कि आपके कारण मैं मर गया. ये प्रेम हो जाएगा, ये प्रेम. अभी तक तो ये भक्ति, अभी तो ये मोह ही चल रहा है. सच्चे प्रेम में we see that there is a very beautiful series that came up, I think Amazon Prime में है. दो पहिया करके आया, विलेज का स्टोरी आया. किसने देखा है? Has anybody seen दो पहिया? There is a guy, a taxi driver, he loves a girl. He shows this transition from moha to prema very beautifully. He becomes a girl for her, dances for her, just to get the bike, which he has to give to the person who that girl has to marry. This fellow loves her. He was in relationship with her. And the other fellow that she wants to marry because she wants to go to a village in Mumbai, that fellow asks for a Royal Enfield bike in dowry. So the father of this girl gets the bike. That bike is stolen. So her lover is searching the bike for the person who is going to marry his girlfriend. And he shows what prema means. You should see Dupaiya. Everybody should see Dupaiya now, Saturday, Sunday. Very beautiful, very beautiful. So, my dear friends, in all our relationships, moha only becomes prema if we allow the I-ness to dissolve. This is not easy. It requires lot of strength. Only if you are able to surrender to God in your heart, the divine only will give you that strength. Without spirituality, without a hand of divine on your head, without your connection to those roots, nobody can take such a step. वो हम दिल दे चुके सनम का अजय देवगन बनना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. So, but that is prema. That is prema. This illustration is just to tell you one simple thing, that in moha there are two, you and me. I give, you give. I take, you take. Business transaction. If it only becomes one way, relationship breaks. And it happens in both if it is moha. Even if one among them is in prema and the other is in moha, the one in prema will ultimately win with his or her patience, with his or her surrender, sacrifice. Ultimately, prema is unbeatable. There is nothing in this world that can oppose prema. Prema is unbeatable. Even if outwardly the person is not able to show the behavior the way you want, his heart will be stolen by you if you are in prema. The सामने वाला कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता. See, in prema, it doesn't matter how you respond. Loving you is in my hand. You love me or not, it is your case. You decide what you want to do. But loving you is in my hand. And I love you. So, मेरी तरफ से मुझे जो देना है, I will do, I will give, I will pray. And this astra, the prema astra, is unbeatable, my dear friends. अमोघ. आप जिससे भी प्रेम करोगे, उसको प्रेम से ही रेस्पॉन्ड करना पड़ेगा. भले ही आउटवर्डली द पर्सन में बिहेव डिफरेंटली, द हार्ट विल बी डिफरेंट. अनदर मूवी इज आर्या. हमारा अल्लू अर्जुन का आर्या मूवी देखिए. That will tell us what prema is. Very beautiful movies. So this is about moha and prema. In moha there are two. प्रेम गली अति सांकरी तामे दो न समाए. पोथी पड़ी पड़ी जग मुआ पंडित भया न कोय. ढाई आखर प्रेम का पढ़े सो पंडित होए. The whole sadhana is to move from moha to prema. You will evolve more than a greatest of yogi if you can take this daring step to move in your relationship from moha to prema. How does this transition happen? What did you give me? Say, what more can I give you? मन समर्पित, तन समर्पित और ये जीवन समर्पित. चाहता हूं देश मेरे तुझे कुछ और भी दूं. Then prema becomes bhakti. We say राष्ट्र भक्ति. जब प्रेम विशाल से हो जाता है, बड़े से प्रेम हो जाता है, छोटे से नहीं, एक से नहीं, बड़े से, बहुत बड़ा, उससे जब प्रेम हो जाता है, उसको हम भक्ति बोलते हैं. राष्ट्र को भक्ति बोलता है, राष्ट्र भक्ति हो जाता है, ईश से भक्ति हो जाता है. प्रेम वही है जो एक इंसान से होता है, लेकिन वो बहुत विशाल से हो गया. जब विशाल से प्रेम हो जाता है तो वो भक्ति बन जाता है. The one who is running this whole cosmos, the whole creation, अब मैं उसके प्यार में, मीरा बाई वो बंसी बजाते हुए श्री कृष्ण के, मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरो ना कोई. अब बहुत बड़े से प्यार हो गया. अब छोटे छोटे जलाशयों से अब मन नहीं भरता, पूरा समुंदर चाहिए. प्रेम, पहले तो मोह से वो प्रेम में जाता है एक के साथ, फिर वो एक से जो प्रेम में जाता है, मजनू जो था वो इस स्टेट में पहुंच गया कि उसको जब लैला से प्रेम हो गया. लैला से पहले उसने देखा तो उसको मोह हुआ. आफ्टर मोह ही एंटर इनटू प्रेमा. लैला लैला, he die for लैला. When he did not get the one he loved. See, moha will go into prema if Whoever you have moha towards you, you don't get it. If you get it, it will not go to love. आपको नहीं मिलना चाहिए, राधा को कृष्ण नहीं मिले तो भक्ति बन, तो नहीं मिलता है तभी वो मोह से प्रेम में जाता है। प्रेम जिससे हो गया वो नहीं मिला, प्रेम हो गया नहीं मिला, तब वो खुदा बन जाता है। जिससे प्रेम हो गया वो नहीं मिला तो वो डिवाइन हो जाता है, वो आपको हर जगह दिखने लग जाता है। आपको लगता है वो आपको देख रहा है। आप हवा से आप आ रहे हो तो आपको लगता है वो हवा उसको छू के मुझे छू रही है। आप चांद को देखते हो आपको लगता है वो चांद में है, आप सूरज को देखते हो आपको लगता है वो सूरज में है, आपको लगता है वो पानी में है, हवा में है। जिससे प्रेम हो जाए और आप पे ईश्वर की कृपा हो जाए तो वो आपको ना मिले, फिर आपको जिससे प्रेम हो गया वो आपको हर जगह दिखने लगे, तब आपका प्रेम भक्ति बनेगा। In bhakti, there are tears. The tears of bhakti melt away all the kleshas from the heart. राग, द्वेष, अभिनिवेश, अस्मिता, सत्व, रजस, तमस, सब कुछ मेल्ट कर देता है, मनुष्य को पाप मुक्त कर देता है, इतना निर्मल कर देता है कि ईश्वर भी दौड़े चले आते हैं। मजनू को बांध के जब बोला कि क्या चाहिए, लास्ट विश क्या है, खुदा आकर के अगर मुझे बोलेगा कि मुझे खुदा चाहिए, तो बोलता है मुझे खुदा भी नहीं चाहिए, अगर खुदा को मेरे पास आना है तो लैला का रूप लेके आना पड़ेगा। सो आपका जिससे आप प्रेम करते हैं वो खुदा बन जाता है, तब आपका प्रेम भक्ति बन जाता है। उसके लिए जब आपकी आंखों में आंसू आते हैं, वो आंसू आपको कर्मों के बंधन से मुक्त करके डिवाइन बहुत बड़ा योगी बना देते हैं। दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंड विथ मीराबाई। देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन ए प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति। समबडी रोट व्हेन आई सेड कि क्या, हाउ डू यू कनेक्ट, सो समबडी सेड प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति. No, this is the rarest and rarest of human possibility, a gift that you can get and a thing that you should pray for. Yep. So I asked, how, what do you pray for? Somebody wrote Prema Lakshana Bhakti.
नारद भक्ति सूत्र ऐसा प्रेम स्वरूपाच है.
नारद भक्ति सूत्र. Yes.
ऐसा प्रेम स्वरूपाच है.
I didn't get any code. Is there waiting? You can see it. So this is another thing. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, the bhakti has been defined as akhila acharana tad anukulena. All the behaviors of the person are such that they are that the divine will be pleased by that. And tad anukulena varjayet. Whatever action, thoughts, behaviors are there which my priyatam, my divine will not like, I will not do it. So this is the domain of bhakti. This is how a bhakta evolves. And as I told you, a jnani can be jnani without having bhakti, but a bhakti cannot be a bhakta without jnana. If there is a bhakta, he is already a jnani, but there can be a jnani without a bhakti, without bhakti. So what we see here is that once it happened that Mirabai went to Vrindavan. There was a great jnani who was worshipping Sri Krishna there, and Mirabai wanted to meet him. Then his disciple stopped him, saying that ladies are not allowed to enter. He is a brahmachari. He is constantly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Ladies are not allowed. Then Mirabai told to the disciple, who is the second Purusha who has come here? I thought that there is only one Purusha, Krishna, and all of us are females, all of us are ladies only. So, in Vrindavan or in this whole cosmos, there is only one Purusha. Everybody else, whether they are male or female, are Prakriti. So she told the disciple, who is the second Purusha who has come here, who is not allowing this female to enter and meet? It means he considered himself as male. When the disciple told this to his boss, the boss came running and fell on the feet of Mirabai. You opened my eyes. So in this way, my dear friends, the path of bhakti moves from moha to prema, prema to bhakti. There were many when we did a survey here among you who had high moha scores. This moha cannot be destroyed. In fact, this very moha will transform, transmute into prema, and from prema into bhakti. It is a hidden potential within you which has to grow. Your divine potential has to manifest through that. How do you do that? How does my moha become prema? How does from prema it become bhakti? Simplest way is to continuously repeat the name of the divine. Do nama japa. The more japa you do, the more your kleshas melt, your I-ness dissolve. Pray wholeheartedly to the God. Please help me. I cannot get bhakti within my heart with my effort, but with your grace, bhakti may enter. Bhakti is the most prized, valuable thing that you can ask to the divine, because after that, the divine becomes your servant. You can bind the divine through bhakti. So it is very rare, but that is why in the end of Bhagavad Gita, it is this path that Krishna values. The question comes, divine with form or formless? This is the very question that Arjuna asked Krishna in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna asked Krishna, "Oh Krishna, who do you consider superior? The one who worship you as the omnipresent God without any form, or the one who sees you in this form, like Mor Mukutdhari with Bansi, eating, curd, makhan, butter. This is your another form, and the one who see you as formless everywhere, whom do you consider as superior?" Okay, so one who we say Saguna Bhakti as S and Nirguna Bhakti as N. N is formless, S is with form. Which is greater? Saguna Bhakti is greater or Nirguna is greater? What is your opinion? What do Krishna would say? Put S or N? N. N. Nirguna is formless. Saguna is with form. Omnipresent consciousness is N. Consciousness in the form is S. How many of you say N? How many of you say S? First S and later N. S, N, S. Oh, S are increasing now. Very interesting, no? Equal number of S and N are coming here. Fine. Let me ask Shobhit. Shobhit, why have you put S? Shobhit, would you like to unmute and share your views?
Because some people's have the more connection with formless thing, like with the God thing. They will think everything is divine. There is no forms.
But you have put S. S means with form.
Sorry.
You wanted to put N.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me ask the same questions to Sharanya, please.
Yes, sir. I believe in S, that is, there is form. I believe that God is like one point of light. So that is what I believe God is. So that is why I put yes.
One point means what, Sharanya? Can you elaborate?
Like a light, like a light, like you. I do believe in God, but then I'm okay with praying to any God. That is, it can be Allah, it can be Jesus, or it can be any Hindu God. So I believe He's there. He has a form, but it is just a light.
Okay, so you feel that people who worship the form are superior than those who worship formless?
Not really, sir.
Not really. The question is
It is
that
left to them.
the
Oh.
question is that who is superior? The one who is worshipping the form or the one who is worshipping formless? What does Krishna answer, or what do you think?
I do think both are equally, like it depends on each individual what they would want to worship. Worshipping itself is superior.
Khushbu, what do you think? 039 Khushbu. Unmute.
So
Yes.
I believe it doesn't matter whether we are worshipping in a form or without a form. The worshipper is superior itself.
So
The
you,
worship is superior. The process is superior, I believe.
okay, so both are equal to you.
Yes,
Okay.
because we are approaching the same destiny in both the cases.
Okay. Let us hear from Vinay.
With respect to this,
Yes.
actually, it starts with any form, ideal form. Later, it transcends to formless. Uh, the transcendence, it takes time, years together with action. So ultimately, it has to transcend. That is the ultimate goal. We have to
So
transcend to
Vinay,
formless.
Vinayji says it begins with S, goes to N.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Let me, anybody else, any other view? Shweta 082?
हाँ जी सर, कैन यू हियर मी?
Yes, yes, Shweta.
सर जैसे आपने मोह और प्रेम और भक्ति के बारे में बताया,
हाँ.
सिमिलरली आई थिंक अबाउट फॉर्म एंड फॉर्मलेस. पहले जब आप पूजा करते हैं तो आपके सामने प्रभु होते हैं. धीरे धीरे वो आपको हर जगह हर चीज़ में दिखाई देते हैं. There will be a point where in everything, whether it is visible, invisible, tangible, intangible, you'll feel that Prabhu is there. So from form to formless is my experience.
Okay. So now what does Krishna answer? Krishna tells Arjuna, oh Arjuna, both of them are good, but considering the ease of the practice, worshipping and doing bhakti to the formless is very difficult. Because human beings are programmed in such a way that whatever that they are attached to, they want their senses to be directed towards that. If I'm attached to somebody, I want to talk to him, I want to touch him, I want to feed him, I want to make him sleep, I want to take care of him, I want to be with the person. So the human being in all their relationships are programmed in such a way that they want something tangible. They want to see something, they want to hear something, they want to touch something. So people who have a form, श्री विग्रह रखते हैं ना, घर में एक मूर्ति रखते हैं, तो with form what happens is your eyes are able to see something again and again, your ears are able to hear a name again and again. You say that Sri Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, पत्रम पुष्पम फलम तोयम यो मे भक्त्या प्रयश्यति तान भक्ति उपहत अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः. Whatever flower, fruit, water my bhakta offers to me with devotion, melted by his bhakti, I come and eat it. Now, is this kind of offering possible to a formless? Where will you offer? You will say that the formless is my stomach also, and you will only eat off. So please understand that you become very dry with the formless, यार. It becomes very generalized. फिर आप कहाँ क्या सेक्रीफाइस करोगे, हर जगह है. ठीक है, फिर इसका भला किया तो उसका ही किया, फिर ये भी किया तो उसका ही किया. आप देखो जो लोग सगुण साक्षात्कार में भक्ति करते हैं, सुबह उठते से वो अपने भगवान को नहलाते हैं, 1 घंटे तक उनको क्लीन करते, टीका लगाते, उनके लिए दिया जलाते, उनके लिए आरती करते। आपकी मम्मा दादी अम्मा को देखिए, वो कितना डिवोशन से 3 घंटे तक भगवान को। आप फॉर्मलेस करके बैठ के बोलते हो मैं आई एम स्पिरिचुअल, आई एम फॉर्मलेस। पूरा दिन आपने एक बार भी भगवान को याद नहीं करते हो। कम से कम वो 3 घंटा भगवान की कॉग्निशन में तो उस इमेज को बार बार अपने चित्त पे घुमाते हुए। शी इज मच मोर इवॉल्व देन यू, यू मे थिंक दैट शी इज इलिटरेट। वो गांव का आदमी आपको अंगूठा छाप लग रहा होगा कि ये इलिटरेट लोग ये भगवान की मूर्ति में खिलाते, आपसे कहीं ज्यादा इवॉल्व है वो। भक्ति में वो आपसे बहुत आगे जा चुके हैं। आप अभी भी अपने आप को स्पिरिचुअल स्पिरिचुअल बना के वही लोभ मोह क्रोध मोह मत्सर उसी में फंसे हो। आप अपने लाइफ के डिसीजन में देख लेना, दे आर मच मोर मैच्योर देन यू। दे विल बी एबल टू गाइड you in your distress better. Why? Because they are very simple minded. They are able to expose their senses to a form. They don't eat anything without feeding their form. वृंदावन में आप जाएंगे तो लोग अपने अपने श्री विग्रह को हाथ में लेकर के ऐसा अपना बच्चा समझ के पालते, बच्चा समझ के पूरा जीवन पालते। आप उनका डिवोशन देखिए। उनके अपने वो लड्डू गोपाल रहते, लड्डू गोपाल, उनको लेकर के आपको क्या पागल लगते हैं वो लोग? अरे वो इतने ग्रेट हो चुके हैं कि आप अपनी जिंदगी में उनको उनके पैरों की धूल नहीं बन सकते आप। बिकॉज दे आर सेक्रीफाइसिंग, they are putting their mind, their senses, their energy, their everything into the divine. उनको भगवान बहुत पहले मिल जाते हैं, बहुत जल्दी मिल जाते हैं, बड़े आराम से मिल जाते हैं। सो मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिम मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिम निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः तस्याहं सुलभ पार्थ। जो लोग मेरे में अपने मन को लगाते हैं, मुझ में अपने चित्त को लगाते हैं और अर्जुन, उनको मैं बड़े आराम से मिल जाता हूं। मुझको सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा समझ के कुछ भी करने वाले को मैं मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है। इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट। यस जितिन जी प्लीज। जितिन जी अनम्यूट एंड शेयर योर व्यूज। Swami Vivekananda was going across South India. He comes to the Krishna Dev Rai in Mysore. He comes to the king, and the king is very adamant Vedantin. He says, I worship the formless. Formless is superior. Ultimately, all forms are illusions of the mind. Only formless is the truth. He gets into a debate with Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda says, he asks a person who works under him, the gatekeeper, he asks him, come here. And he says, yes, what to do? He says, what is that? He says, that is my king's portrait. उनका फोटो है, लेके आइए. He brings the portrait. He'll put it down. उसको नीचे रख देता है. Then he asks the gatekeeper, now I want you to spit on it. इस पे थूकिए आप. गेटकीपर बोलता है, I can't do this. I will not do this. Then he asks the king, tell him to do this. King says, why are you asking him to spit on my photo? He says, you are Vedant in omnipresent consciousness. Nothing is happening. But for your gatekeeper, this image represents you. He sees you in this image. That's why he is not spitting. That is how a person who worships the form sees the omnipresent divine in that form. And it makes the worshipping of the formless, the infinite one, easier. It makes your connect more frequent. It makes it easier to bow down in one direction, to have stuti, to have eye contact, to do something, to offer something, to seek blessings. It makes it easier for you. Therefore, 12th chapter पढ़ के देख लीजिए. Shri Krishna clearly tells कि worshipping me with form is superior than worshipping me without form, because only thing is that it is more easier to apply in practice, and I come more easily to such people. Okay? So S. Still, no, God is kind enough and he brings several domains, and he says, if you cannot connect to me in that, just the idol, you can connect to me when in the majestic of my nature when I manifest myself. This is also bhakti according to me, where your mind just completely goes blank. When you look at the sky, you feel very small. All our big problems in our life become minute. नो, जब हम आसमान की तरफ देखते हैं, तारों को देखते हैं, ये अर्थ कितना छोटा है, इसमें हम कितने छोटे से स्पेक, वी आर जस्ट लाइक ए बबल, केम फॉर ए मोमेंट एंड गोइंग अवे. We feel so small and humble. This feeling of awe is also is like Arjuna had Vishwadarshana. It also fills you with bhakti. Bhimji, please unmute and share your views.
नमो नमः महोदय। जैसा आपने बताया कि सकार भक्ति इसमें भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने बताया कि अत्यधिक महत्वपूर्ण है, तो मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जब व्यक्ति रिकॉल करता है अपनी बातों को और जब लेटा होता है तो उसके सामने कोई भी देवता, कोई परमात्मा कुछ नहीं होता, वो सिर्फ एक सुपर पावर को मान करके ये कहता है भगवान मुझे सामर्थ्य दें, जो मैंने गलत किया है वो मैं आगे गलत नहीं करूं और अभी जो कर रहा हूँ वो मैं सही करूं। तो उस समय ये लगता है भी जो निराकार भक्ति है वो ज़्यादा सही है, क्योंकि वो व्यक्ति उस समय सोच रहा होता है कि मैं सिर्फ भगवान को कह रहा हूँ। हालाँकि वो मानता हनुमान जी को भी है, भगवान श्री रामचंद्र जी को भी मानता है, माँ दुर्गा को भी मानता है, तो हम कैसे कह सकते हैं कि सकार भक्ति इसमें श्रेष्ठ है? और दूसरा ये कि यदि सकार भक्ति को वो श्रेष्ठ मानते तो अपने से पहले हुए महापुरुषों के बारे में वो भगवान श्री कृष्ण कहते, क्योंकि उस समय जब वो अर्जुन को कह रहे हैं तो उस समय अपने जैसे ही पुरुष हैं वो। तो इस पे थोड़ा बताइएगा। हरिओम।
Yes, yes, भीम जी बहुत सुंदर प्रश्न किया है. भीम जी has asked a question that if a person who is sitting and is thinking that I have done something wrong and there is a superior power that I want to connect, and with that connection, he seeks guidance. He may also have belief on Hanumanji, Devi, Krishna, but he feels that there is one divine, one Om, one universal source. एक परमात्मा है जो सारे देवताओं में भी वो परमात्मा है. अगर वो ऐसा किसी को मानता है तो दैट शुड बी सुपीरियर, बिकॉज इट विल नॉट क्रिएट ए कॉन्फ्लिक्ट देन. क्योंकि उसमें कैसा होता है, फिर एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आने लगता है कि मैं तो विष्णु को मानता हूं, आप शिव को मानते हो, आप व्हेन फॉर्म कम्स डिविजन्स कम. व्हेन डिविजन कम्स देन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कम्स, एंड वी नो हाउ अगली इट कैन बिकम. नो, सो ये बड़ा बदसूरत हो जाता है कि फिर आप अपने फॉर्म को अच्छा मानते हो, दूसरे के फॉर्म को खराब मानते हो. तो उससे अच्छा है कि सबके अंदर एक ही डिवाइन फॉर्मलेस को देखो. उससे वो स्ट्रगल भी नहीं होगा और वो फाइट भी रुक जाएगी. तो इस दैट इज द आर्ग्यूमेंट भीम जी इज गिविंग, दैट निर्गुणा में बी बेटर देन सगुणा. भीम जी, एम आई करेक्ट? भीम जी, आपका प्रश्न मुझे बराबर समझ में आया? हेलो, आई थिंक हिज कनेक्शन इज लेट. So basically, to this, I just want to tell one thing, that as you evolve in bhakti, Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita uses a particular word, ek bhaktir vishishyate. When you begin your bhakti is towards bahu vishaya. It is going towards many deities in many direction. जब वो बिगिनर होते हैं ना, जैसे आप अपने घर में यू गो टू योर ग्रैंड माँ, योर अम्मा, योर मदर, आप जाके उनसे पूछिए तो वो बोलेगी कि आपको इतना टाइम क्यों लगता है, तो बोलेगी पहले तो मुझे देवी को नहलाना है, फिर शिव जी को नहलाना है, फिर विष्णु जी को, फिर हनुमान जी को, सबको करना है. क्यों? क्योंकि if I worship this particular deity and I don't take care of that deity, then that deity will get angry. अभी सोमवार किया पर शनिवार नहीं किया है तो वो शनि महाराज जो है वो बुरा मान जाएंगे. फिर हनुमान जी का जयंती के दिन हमने उपवास नहीं किया, लेकिन हमने जन्माष्टमी के दिन किया. तो इसमें बहुत सारे देवी देवताओं में जब वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में गिरते रहते तो ये लोग इसमें फंस जाते हैं कि हम अगर एक इष्ट देवता का वर्शिप करेंगे तो दूसरे इष्ट देवता हमारे नाराज हो जाएंगे. बराबर. तो ये सब चीजों में मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि जो भक्ति की जो ग्रोथ होती है, जो व्यक्ति भक्ति में आगे बढ़ता है, तो उसमें शुरू की भक्ति की स्टेज में ऐसा होता है जहां पे कि वो एक सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा को देखता है और उसी परमात्मा को बहुत सारे देवताओं में देखता है. और उन देवताओं में देखते हुए उसको पहले तो ये बिलीफ होता है कि अगर मैं इन देवता के वर्शिप करूंगा तो वो नाराज हो जाएंगे. उसमें वो फिर एक सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा को भी नहीं देख पाता है, वो हर एक को अलग अलग देवता मानता है. फिर वो जब नेक्स्ट स्टेप पे जाता है तो वो ये मानने लगता है कि इन सारे देवताओं के पीछे एक परमात्मा जो है वो That one divine behind all these deities is the ultimate divine. Then when he goes to the next step, then he moves from बहु भक्ति, बहुत सारे इष्ट देवताओं से वो एक इष्ट देवता पे आता है, और फिर द नेक्स्ट स्टेप में ही सेज दैट सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा हैज सॉलिडिफाइड हिमसेल्फ इनटू दिस वन इष्ट देवता। उस परमेश्वर ने अपने आप को सॉलिडिफाई करके, वही सर्वव्यापी परमेश्वर मेरे सामने श्री कृष्ण के रूप में बंसी बजाता हुआ बैठा है, या वही सर्वव्यापी परमेश्वर मेरे सामने शिव के रूप में बैठ करके मेडिटेट कर रहा है, या यही वही सर्वव्यापी परमेश्वर देवी का रूप लेकर के, वही देवी है जो ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश के भी पार है। तो वो ऊपर जाते जाते जाते, वो भक्ति में जाते जाते जाते, वो इस सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा को भी वो एक फॉर्म में लाएगा, और वो ये बोलेगा कि हर फॉर्म जो है वो मेरा इसी का फॉर्म है। तब वो सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा के साथ में बातचीत कर पाएगा, उसको प्रेम कर पाएगा। अरे उसको प्रेम कैसे करेगा यार, अगर उसके पास फॉर्म ही नहीं है, वो प्रेम कैसे करेगा? तो इसके 3 स्टेप देखिए। पहले बहुत सारे देवी देवता और उसके पीछे एक परमात्मा है, इसका भान ही ना होना, ये फैनेटिक हो गया, इसमें बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, इसमें अज्ञान है। दूसरा स्टेप ज्ञान का है, जिसमें बहुत सारे देवी देवता हैं और उसके पीछे ये ज्ञान है कि एक ही परमेश्वर है, ये बहुभक्ति हो गया, ये बेटर है। लेकिन तीसरा स्टेप इसके बाद आता है, जहां पर कि हमें यह स्थिति पहुंचती है, सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा है और वो इस एक सर्वव्यापी परमेश्वर के फॉर्म में मुझे मिल रहा है, सॉलिडिफाई हो रहा है। इसमें क्या होता है कि धीरे धीरे आप बहुत सारों की भक्ति शुरू करते हो, फिर आप एक पे आते हो। मान लो आपने बहुत सारे देवी देवता का शुरू किया, अब आपका हनुमान जी पे आ गया। हनुमान जी की भक्ति करते 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 थोड़ा टाइम आएगा कि आपको लगने लगेगा कि मुझे मेरी भक्ति अब राम जी पे शिफ्ट हो रही है, क्योंकि हनुमान जी जो है वो राम की भक्ति देने वाले हैं। राम की भक्ति करते 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 आप जाओगे तो आप ये देखोगे कि आपकी भक्ति शिव जी पे ट्रांसफर हो रही है, क्योंकि राम जी जो है वो शिव के डिवोटी है। शिव की भक्ति करते करते तो ऐसे आप जाते जाते आप ऐसे पॉइंट पे आप पहुंचते हो, या आपके जो गुरु होते हैं वो भी बदलते हैं। सी मेनी पीपल गो थ्रू दिस डिस्ट्रेस, आई एम डिवोटेड टू वन गुरु, नाउ आई एम फीलिंग लाइक इंक्लाइन टुवर्ड्स अनदर गुरु, व्हेन आई एम मूविंग टुवर्ड्स अनदर गुरु विल आई बी बिट्रेइंग माय प्रीवियस गुरु? क्या मैं पहले गुरु के साथ में धोखा कर रहा हूं या? नो। व्हेन यू इवॉल्व, your deities change, your gurus change, and it is the grace of the guru or the deity that you have been worshipping. Through that only you are gently directed towards another guru or another deity. It is the grace of that guru. If you take a journey, if you have to travel to Himalayas, sometimes you have to go through desert also, you have to go through a river also. When you go through desert, you will require a camel. When you go through a river, you will require a boat. When you go through a mountain, you will require a climber. So in different phases of life, you will see different mentors coming up. बहुत अलग अलग गुरु आपकी लाइफ में आएंगे, वो आपकी उस लाइफ के फेज को निकाल करके उस आपको दूसरे गुरु को हैंड ओवर कर देंगे, क्योंकि उस फेज में उस गुरु का रोल आ जाएगा। ऐसा करते 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 यू विल रीच ए पॉइंट ऑफ सैचुरेशन, जब आपको ये पता चलेगा कि इसके आगे मुझे पता चल गया है, आई नो देर इज नो अदर इष्ट देवता, दिस इज द फाइनल इष्ट देवता, दिस इज द फाइनल गुरु। तब आप ज्ञान के ऊपर, ज्ञान के बाद आने वाली प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति, जिसमें फॉर्म होता है, जिसमें सगुण साक्षात्कार होता है, और सगुण साक्षात्कार में जैसे श्री रामकृष्ण परमहंस अपनी मां काली से सामने बैठ करके बात करते हैं, ऐसे वो अपने इष्ट देवता से बात भी करते हैं। तो ये बहुत हाई लेवल का भक्ति की मैं बात कर रहा हूं आपसे, जो मैं सगुण साक्षात्कार की भक्ति की बात कर रहा हूं। आप जो सगुण साक्षात्कार की भक्ति की बात कर रहे हो, वो एकदम फर्स्ट लेवल की सगुण साक्षात्कार की भक्ति है, जिसमें उसको ये तक नहीं पता कि इसके अंदर बहुत सारे भगवान हैं, उसको लग रहा है अलग अलग भगवान हैं, है ना। आप जो स्टेट बता रहे हो भीम जी, वो बीच का स्टेट है, जिसमें वो सगुण की एकदम हाई लेवल में भी नहीं चला गया, और वो ये भी नहीं मान रहा कि सगुण में अलग अलग भगवान है। भीम जी, क्या मैंने आपका आंसर दिया? पूरी तरह से सेटिस्फाइड तो नहीं लग रहे भीम जी मुझे।
सॉरी सर, मैं डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, शुरू के वर्ड्स आपके मैं सुन नहीं पाया, लेकिन मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि वो मानता तो सबको है, शुरू शुरू में ये बात मान ली, ठीक है, लेकिन जब वो सरेंडर हो रहा है, जब वो सोच रहा है, तो उस समय तो वो निराकार ही मान रहा है, किसी को कुछ नहीं मान रहा है कि एक परमात्मा है, सुपर पावर। जैसे स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती ने बताया था कि एक सुपर पावर, उसको सरेंडर होके आप कह रहे हो, उस समय आप कुछ नहीं मान रहे हो।
ये भक्ति का एक लेवल है। इस भक्ति के बाद में और एक भक्ति का लेवल आता है, उसको प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति बोलते हैं, जिसमें ये सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा है ना, ये भी एक फॉर्म लेकर के आता है। जैसे एक कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सर्वव्यापी परमात्मा आता है। क्यों ऐसा होता है? क्योंकि आपको प्रेम करने के लिए प्रेम का एक ऑब्जेक्ट चाहिए। क्या होता है कि ज्ञानी जो होता है ना, वो ऐसा होता है कि मान लो एक चींटी है और एक शुगर का, देयर इज ए बिग गोडाउन ऑफ शुगर, शक्कर का बड़ा गोडाउन है, उसमें एक चींटी गई। तो ज्ञानी क्या बोलता है कि मैं उस गोडाउन में जाकर के वो शक्कर को जब पीसेंगे तो मैं भी उसमें पीस जाऊंगा, मैं भी शक्कर बन जाऊंगा, आई विल ऑल्सो बिकम शुगर। करेक्ट? लेकिन भक्त क्या बोलता है? भक्त बोलता है कि मुझे डिजॉल्व नहीं होना है, मुझे बाहर रह करके उसका आनंद लेना है, उसका रस लेना है। तो ये रसिक लोगों की परंपरा से ये भक्ति आती है, जिसमें कि ज्ञान की पराकाष्ठा के बाद एक सगुण आता है। ज्ञान की पराकाष्ठा में ज्ञान, श्री कृष्ण क्या बोलते हैं इस श्लोक में, आप देखिए क्या बोलते हैं इस श्लोक में, ध्यान से देखिए ये वाला श्लोक भीम जी। बहुनाम जन्मनाम अंते ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यते वासुदेव सर्वमिति स महात्मा सुदुर्लभ। ऐसे ज्ञान की अवस्था में भी बहुत सारे जन्म लेने के बाद, मतलब स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती के भी बहुत सारे जन्म हो जाने के बाद में वासुदेव ही सर्व है, ऐसे महात्मा जो है वो बहुत दुर्लभ होते हैं, क्योंकि वो सर्वव्यापी परमेश्वर को भी एक सगुण में लेकर के आकर के देख पाता है और उस सगुण से वो प्रेम कर पाता है। यहाँ पे प्रेम की पराकाष्ठा आती है, जिसको प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति कहते हैं, जो मुझे लगता है कि ह्यूमन इवोल्यूशन का पीक है, ज्ञान के बाद आता है, ज्ञान में बहुत सारे जन्म बिताने के बाद आता है। ये शायद थ्योरेटिकली समझाना बहुत मुश्किल है, लेकिन मैं आपके प्रश्न को समझ रहा हूं। हम इस पे और चर्चा कर सकते हैं। यस, फाइनल थॉट्स बिफोर वी एंड द सेशन, वर्षा एंड शुभ्रा जी।
सर, भीम जी के जो प्रश्न था उस पे कुछ कहना चाहूंगी।
यस यस, बोलिए शुभ्रा जी।
वो कहना चाह रहे थे कि जो सरेंडर होते, जब सरेंडर स्टेट हो रही है कि पर्सन भक्ति में इतना लीन है कि वो अपने आप को सरेंडर कर रहा है, तो वो निराकार ब्रह्म की उपासना के रूप में मतलब वो ही करना चाह रहा है, मतलब वो ही समझ रहा है कि निराकार ईश्वर है। तो वो स्टेट का डिस्क्रिप्शन यह है कि जब आत्मा परमात्मा में लीन होके उस स्थिति तक पहुंचती है कि स्वयं ही परमात्मा के तत्वी गुण उसके अंदर आत्मा में आ जाते हैं, तो वो लीन स्टेट आती है जहाँ जहाँ की सरेंडर इतना हाई लेवल पे हो गया है कि आत्मा ही परमात्मा का रूप ले रही है, परमात्मा आत्मा को अपने साथ लीन कर रहा है। वो स्टेट में निराकार ही रहेगा, उसमें निराकार ब्रह्म वाला ही स्वरूप उसको ज्ञात होगा और वो उसी फील्ड में ही अ, ईश्वर को और एक ईश्वर की आराधना कर पाएगा। तो वो लीन तत्व वाले, लीन हो चुका है, वो लीन स्टेट उसकी पहुंच गई है जब वो सरेंडर कर रहा है। तो वो परमात्मा के तत्व उसमें आ गए और वो भी उसकी फॉर्म में ईश्वर को देख रहा है। तो वो काइंड ऑफ इमर्शन जो, क्योंकि सारी आत्मा परमात्मा से ही निकली, परमात्मा ही सारी आत्माओं का विधाता है, द
यस शुभ्रा जी।
फादर ऑफ एवरी सोल, दैट आई नीड टू
मैं
से।
ये कहना चाहता हूं कि उस लीन अवस्था के बाद की और एक अवस्था है, जिसमें कि वो जीवात्मा उस परम तत्व को एक सगुण फॉर्म में देखती है और उससे प्रेम करती है, वो उस प्रेम को समझ पाती है। ये उसके बाद की अवस्था में आपको,
उसके बाद की अवस्था सर, उसमें क्या सर, फिर से
ये
प्लीज रिपीट।
प्रेम ये प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति
ओके।
अवस्था है। भक्ति के बाद एक प्रेम लक्षणा भक्ति आती है। हाँ, ये
ओके।
ज्ञान की पराकाष्ठा के बाद की, इसी को श्री कृष्ण इस श्लोक में कह रहे हैं